This is going to be a very special conversation about dreams. We haven't had any conversations about dreams.
I'm very honored about that, yeah. Thank you. Hope I can live up to it, yeah.
And I have been so looking forward to talking to you because I don't know anybody else, I don't think, who's kept a dream journal since the age of 13?
I started a little at 8.
That is so amazing to me.
When I was like 13, 14, that's when I started like getting more serious.
You can tell me about a recurring dream that you've had all your life, or?
Yeah, I think it started as early as I can remember. So I think I might have had it when I was 7, actually, but certainly by 8, and then I had it through 18. I think it's the last time I can remember I had it. And
as you tell it to me,
okay,
maybe we could see if you could sort of feel into it. Just let it be here. Let it.
Okay.
Let it come into the room, into our bodies, and I'm going to share it with you because dreams are something to share.
Absolutely.
And feel it also. And
okay. I just as a preference, whenever I usually dream, I figured this out when I was like going back through some of the things, but I kind of dream simultaneously in like a kind of a third-person overview of like watching yourself happening, but also in a first-person sense as well. So usually I get both angles from that.
Wow! Usually, so you dream from a third person looking at yourself and the first person being yourself at the same time.
Yeah. And so it usually starts off more as like a third person, kind of a surrounding. So I guess the dream it always starts off in a very wooded, like kind of alpine forest with no snow. It's like a temperate climate, but kind of the Pacific Northwest. But just a canopy of trees.
And you're seeing them from above, or?
Yeah. Above, so maybe 200 or 300 feet above the trees. Some birds flying. It's a canopy of trees, and then it eventually, and then it kind of moves over, and kind of like almost like if a drone was like flying over these trees, and then eventually a highway comes through, but it's an elevated highway, so you can't see. At no point can you see the, I guess the forest floor or a road. It's just this kind of elevated. 2-lane, not even a 3-lane highway, surrounded by trees, and then there's a white Nissan Maxima driving down it. My father's driving in the front. I'm in the back seat. This is where it kind of moves into a first person, and then I'm looking out the back of his Nissan Maxima.
Comes down into you, and then you feel yourself.
Yeah. I can see hands, and it had this tan leather interior, so you could see kind of actually like this chair, kind of just lighter. And looking out the back, and then it switches back to third person, kind of this overarching view, and there's in the distance is a bear running on the highway, coming at us, and as it gets closer and closer, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then eventually, I'm telling my dad to go faster, but not in a hurried way though.
You're telling your dad to go faster.
Drive, yeah. At no point does he speak.
Drive faster, you're saying.
But only twice, and not in a hurried state. I think everything's remarkably calm. The bear keeps getting closer and closer and closer and closer until it is kind of over the car, and then it just stops.
And then the dream stops.
Over. Yeah.
Wow.
And I've probably had that dream, haven't counted, but somewhere between 20 and 30 times.
At different points in your life, from the age of 7 till, and how old are you now?
I am 29.
29. Wow, what a nice age.
Yeah. But the last time I had that dream was 18.
So you brought that into the room, and the whole feeling of that dream.
Yeah.
What's the atmosphere of it?
I think it's like I guess a kind of a calm foreboding. Maybe. I think. Because I think
let me say that and then see if when I say it, if it sort of touches that.
Yeah.
A calm foreboding.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. I could feel that a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing is, it's not frantic. It's not like some, I don't know, some movie where someone's chasing people or freaking out. There's really no freaking out going on. Yeah. So just bear that. So I don't know. I have no idea what it means. It's just something had for a long time. So
Yeah.
and it's the one that I remember the best because I've had it so many times. I think.
Yeah, that could almost be the name of the dream. Calm foreboding.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I never thought about it like that. I've never actually. No one's ever asked me to describe it. Yeah. So.
Was there a different feeling when the dream begins and there's just that canopy of trees and the birds and you're looking down on it? Was that?
I think it's a little bit, but it's very slight. It does change. I think the foreboding does ratchet up, but it goes from like say a 3 to like a 4.5.
So it's foreboding at the beginning too.
Yeah.
Even though there are birds and.
Maybe just a feeling that maybe things aren't. I mean, maybe it's like I don't know. It's like a tranquil. It is a maybe a suspicious tranquility. Maybe that's the way of saying it. Maybe kind of like you see a duck on the water and it's very calm. It's gliding, but if you go underneath the water, its feet are like paddling,
like
a
under
mile a
the
minute.
surface.
Yeah.
Something is amiss. Something is.
Something you can't quantify, you can't really describe, but yeah, something's there, yeah. And then the bear comes in, and then you figure it out. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting that sense of that the duck and under the water, this franticness.
Yeah.
But then on the surface, it seems really calm. And on the surface, everything is under control in a way. There's no screaming, yelling.
Yeah.
But under the surface, there's something scary.
It's,
right?
it's
Something scary.
gradually making its way.
Yeah, gradually getting more and more dangerous, more and more ominous.
Yeah.
More in your face, more undeniable, more.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. It keeps getting the intensity increases to a point where you can't really avoid it. Maybe.
Yeah. What's your association to that car? It's such a specific. That's so interesting, isn't it? That it's such a specific car.
My dad had this Nissan Maxima, but it had a voice in it, so it would talk to you.
Really?
So it would say, I guess they got rid of it because people thought it was creepy or something. As a
like
kid,
Alexa.
Exactly, yeah. But my dad, I loved it as a kid because it would be like, right door is open, or tell you to put your seatbelt on, or it would like you're running low on gas. That kind of stuff. A light would come on too, but it would have all these things it could say. And I guess as a kid, we would. All my friends got a kick out of it too, so we would purposely leave the door open, and then you could just to hear the voice and that kind of thing. So I think my dad liked it too. I thought it was very cool.
And the car has a feeling of being cool and connected to your dad. That you and your dad are together in it.
I do, yeah. I mean, it's I don't. My dad was traveling a lot when I was he's actually on a flight to Europe when I was born, actually. And so he would do, when I was a kid, he'd go away for 3 months at a time and things like that. And so perhaps there's some longing or something like that, or I don't know, desire to I don't know, maybe there's some connection with that. I don't know, but yeah.
Just give that a minute, because you're onto something, I think, here. The feeling of that car and the togetherness in it, being in the same car, and the coolness, and other kids really loving that car and it talking to you, and something about a longing for more with your dad, for more.
I mean, I don't know, maybe the I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where when you're. I guess I maybe subconsciously knew this, but when you're, I knew that he was going to leave in a certain amount of time, and so I guess any time interaction, is only temporary, and which I guess is maybe somewhat different than maybe having your father when he works in the same town or whatever, the person you do, so you know that you're always going to see them, that kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe the and I know usually whether it's vacation or what have you, when you get towards the end, maybe an experience becomes a little more bittersweet because maybe you realize it's more immediate, that it's coming to an end. So I don't know, perhaps and I know that from the inception it's going to end, and then maybe that's the the foreboding or something like that, knowing that it will be over at some point, and then he's going to go away.
Yeah, let me say that part back and see how it connects inside. That's the big clicking in, like we can have all kinds of thoughts about something, but then some thoughts like really sort of like, yes, that's right. So if I say it and then you say, yeah, I do have a feeling of that. So this part is like that being with your dad in that kind of intimate way of being on the voyage together, being in the same car, being in the special car together, just the two of you. Always that kind of intimacy had this feeling that it's going to end, that you have to prepare, and that the end is coming.
Yeah. Something I still think about that in a different way. I remember when I was a kid, I saw this commercial. I think it was aimed at more at adults, but it was about how you need to spend time with your parents and say what you really need to say, because they could get hit by a bus tomorrow or something like that. And I remember there's this one woman who was like crying because her father was like grave, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, Dad." And I remember as a kid, even when he would drive me to school sometimes instead of taking the bus, he would, and I would make sure I talk to him the whole time. I didn't want to have any silent moments. I think that commercial really did. I mean, in hindsight, it was, it was aimed at, other people, but I think at the time I was like, oh yeah, I better make sure I think even when I was a kid, there was a sense of urgency, even just talking to him and that kind of thing.
This is a further piece here of this urgency that was always there about the shortness of time and that he would leave. I could feel the foreboding of preparing for separation. And I guess in a way, never being able to just relax into the feeling of continuity and ongoingness.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I think that not being able to relax is something that I've just in general only starting to kind of touch the surface of right now. But I think the thing not being able to relax, I think that's something that's not just, I guess, just enjoying your parents or my parents, but just kind of in general, I think, with relationships and.
Matt goes on from here to talk more about his dream and his family, and you can watch a longer version on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.